Hello, welcome to another episode of Stories of World War II Veterans. My name is Kayleen Reusser, and each week I bring you a story from one of the books I've read that I've written. This one is book 4 in my World War II Legacies series. It's called We Defended Freedom: Adventures of World War II Veterans. So today's story is about Robert Young, who served in the Army in the Pacific. And before I go any further, thanks to all the veterans watching. We wouldn't be free without you. When the atomic bomb was dropped on the Japanese city of Hiroshima on August 6th of 1945, Robert Young of Markle, Indiana, and his fellow soldiers didn't know how to react. "We were on our way to a planned invasion of Japan," he said. "We didn't know much about bombs." Young was born in 1920 in Springfield, Vermont. In 1942, he joined the Army and was sent to Fort Devens, Massachusetts, for training as a medic. At Camp Pickett in Virginia, he retrained in the field of communications at radio school. Up to that time, all communication had been done by Morse code, so we didn't have to speak, he said. Now the military wanted me to learn radio and telephone operations. In early 1944, Young sailed with thousands of other soldiers to New Britain, England, the largest island in the Bismarck archipelago of Papua New Guinea. Young was attached to the Australian Army. He enjoyed the camaraderie of the soldiers from the Land of Oz. "The Australian guys were friendly and fun to serve with," he said. "I don't wear socks today because Australian soldiers didn't issue them." In the South Pacific, Young was transferred to the 594th Regiment Boat and Shore Regular Army. "There were few wharfs on the islands," he said. "When troops came in on big ships, they anchored 1 mile offshore and hauled supplies on landing crafts or Higgins boats. Young worked at night unloading supplies from the ships. When off duty, the soldiers slept on the ship. Young's cot was located in the front part, which caused him to feel uneasy. Lying on his bunk, he thought about how few inches were between him and the ocean. After the Battle of the Bulge in winter of 1945 and the hard-won victories of Iwo Jima and Okinawa in spring 1945, the war seemed to be nearing an end. In April of 1945, President Franklin D. Roosevelt died. Uncertainty for the future of the war loomed. "We heard the new president, Harry S. Truman, say the war would be over in 6 months," said Young. Everyone wondered what that meant. In early August of 1945, Corporal Young was with Allied troops on a Navy ship in the South Pacific, preparing for the invasion, when news arrived about Japan's surrender. Ships on their way to Japan were ordered to turn on their lights, thus ending the forced blackout that had been in effect since the war's beginning. Lights came on all around the Pacific, lighting up the sky like a Christmas tree. "It was the most exciting time of the war for me," said Young. The lights became a symbol to the troops, as perhaps nothing else could, that the war was finally over. Young was discharged from Fort Devens in Massachusetts in January 2nd, 1946. He and 3 brothers who had also served in the military all returned safely home. Young worked in a family business until age 75. He participated in Honor Flight of Northeast Indiana. "I was proud to serve my country," he said. "I didn't expect anything from my government. I just did what had to be done." So this is Bob Young, who we've been reading about. Thanks for listening today. I appreciate your attention. Please subscribe to this channel and tell others about it. My name is Kayleen Reusser, and I'll be back to you next week with another story. Thanks and take care.